Every year, the American leather and fashion industry produces hundreds of millions of cowhide-based products. A material that may seem simple at first glance, yet it has remained at the center of fashion for centuries. Behind every pair of shoes, every luxury handbag, and every refined leather piece, there is a continuous transformation, where a naturally rough surface is carefully turned into something soft, durable, and full of character. From vast open ranches across states like Texas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska, to processing facilities operating 24 hours a day, the U.S. leather industry preserves its essence, transforming something seemingly simple into the backbone of a fashion ecosystem worth tens of billions of dollars. To understand how this material has maintained its influence across generations, we explore the story that made cowhide one of the most enduring pillars of the fashion world. After centuries of use, cowhide remains a fundamental cornerstone of the American fashion industry. Each year, the United States collects billions of square feet of hides from cattle raised mainly in the Midwest and southern states, regions that dominate national supply. From these large-scale ranching areas, raw hides flow into a massive production ecosystem that transforms them into footwear, bags, and high-quality furniture. The economic weight of the cowhide sector exceeds $100 billion annually, including both raw hide exports and fully finished leather goods. The U.S. leads cattle supply, while regions like New York, California, and North Carolina drive craftsmanship, manufacturing, and consumption. As a natural, durable, and renewable material, cowhide continues to exert timeless appeal, a quality that has preserved its relevance for thousands of years and secured its place in modern American fashion. From extensive cattle ranches in major grazing regions, cowhide is collected as a high-value byproduct of the beef industry. Once it leaves the initial processing area, each hide is stretched and inspected for integrity, size, surface cleanliness, and natural markings. Buyers use these criteria to classify hides into various quality levels, from large hides destined for furniture to smaller pieces intended for footwear and accessories. Approved batches are stacked in large piles, labeled with identification codes for full traceability, and compacted into industrial bales to prevent damage during transport. Depending on distance and scale, these bales are loaded onto heavy trucks or specialized containers and delivered to regional collection centers. There, hides undergo a final inventory check before being sent to tanneries, where the true refining and enhancement process begins. Inside the depot, each raw hide is spread out for quick inspection of moisture levels and surface condition. It is then moved to the salting area, where coarse salt is generously applied to preserve the hide's structure and prevent bacterial growth during the waiting period before processing. Large equipment such as overhead hooks and rail-mounted cranes are used to handle the heavy, slippery hides, which can weigh between 90 and 220 lbs when wet, far too heavy for manual handling. These systems prevent overstretching the collagen fibers and help maintain a steady processing pace, especially in facilities receiving hundreds or even thousands of raw hides per shift. Once loaded into rotating drums, the amount of material per batch is calculated based on the drum's maximum capacity, typically 1 to 6 tons of wet hides. Water is added in controlled stages to dissolve remaining salt and return the hides to ideal moisture levels. The drum's continuous motion softens the external surface and loosens hair roots, allowing depilatory chemicals to penetrate and react evenly. Flow rate and temperature are carefully controlled to preserve the collagen's stability. As the drum rotates, dirt, residual proteins, and surface impurities are removed, while moisture is equalized, an essential condition for uniform chemical penetration in later stages. A single production line can process 15 to 40 tons of wet hides per day. Any mistake here, retained salt, irregular moisture, or incomplete cleaning, creates defects in all subsequent steps. Once the hides reach uniform moisture, they move to the fleshing machine, a unit designed to remove all remaining internal tissue. Workers guide each hide onto a rotating blade cylinder calibrated to remove unwanted fat, flesh, and connective fibers without damaging the collagen layer. This step standardizes thickness, reduces weight, and improves chemical absorption. Industrial fleshing lines process 3 to 10 tons of hides per hour. Any deviation here can create irreversible defects. After tissue removal, hides are trimmed to remove torn edges, thin borders, or uneven sections. Knives or trimming machines refine the perimeter, ensuring a clean contour. Next comes deleaming, where acids or ammonium sulfate reduce the high alkalinity from earlier stages. pH must drop gradually to avoid fiber shock. Proper deliming leaves the hide clean, flexible, and ready for enzymatic treatment. Enzymes then restructure the fiber network by breaking down unwanted proteins. A controlled blend of salts and acids adjusts the pH further, preparing the hide for tanning agents, either chrome salts or vegetable tannins. These agents bind to collagen, transforming raw material into durable, stable leather. Near the end of tanning, dyes and oils are added, spreading evenly across fibers. Oils restore softness, volume, and resistance to creasing. The drum's motion ensures uniform transformation. Freshly tanned leather retains 65 to 70% moisture, so it goes through a wringing machine, where large pressure rollers expel water without collapsing the fiber structure. Capacity machines reduce moisture to 40 to 50%, ideal for splitting, cutting, and further mechanical processes. Water collected during this stage is sent to treatment systems to avoid contamination. Next is drying, either via vacuum drying, where water evaporates at lower temperatures, or via stretching frames exposed to warm airflow. These systems process hundreds of square feet per hour, producing flat, stable hides ready for softening. Mechanical softening restores flexibility, as beating plates or stretching mechanisms reopen compressed collagen structures. This step gives leather its natural softness and drape. Finally, a protective coating, acrylic or polyurethane, is applied via spraying or roller coating. It forms a thin film that protects against abrasion, light exposure, and wear, while maintaining natural grain texture. After curing in a controlled chamber, hides undergo final inspections for surface quality, color uniformity, flatness, and finish adhesion. Approved pieces are hung on large drying racks to stabilize shape and prevent creasing. Once stable, they are packaged with protective sheets and moisture barrier film. Each batch receives traceability codes and technical specifications. From cattle ranches to chemical refinement, from precise mechanical treatment to durable protective finishes, the journey of American cowhide is a complete transformation built on skill and discipline. Every step contributes to the durability, aesthetics, and economic value of a material that has accompanied humanity for centuries. If you want to explore the hidden processes behind other everyday materials, subscribe to Industrial Factory. Many more stories about American industry are ahead.